Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? GM. Hope you're having a good evening, good morning, wherever you're at in the world. I'm glad you guys are here, but we are rocking out tonight. This is Solana Chillin. And as you can see, the Solana Made Simple official account has been created finally. I feel like I've gotten to a point where it made sense to put this out there. So if you guys want to follow and help me build that out, definitely appreciate that. It means a lot to me. But like I said, this is Solana Chillin. If you guys want to come up and join the conversation, feel free to grab a mic open panel for anybody that would like to. But I definitely got a lot to talk about as far as talking points, updates, you know, this, that, and another thing. We are live streaming as well. This is on YouTube and X. Wanted to make sure that that was kicking and rocking before we got this thing started. But I appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out. We just watched the Eagles whoop up on the defending champs. Let me make sure I say this correctly. The defending champs, the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles, went out and took care of business against the Kansas City Chiefs in their stadium. So you always like to see that. You like to see the away team taking the W. Man, I was pumped. Looks like everything I have on the screen is frozen right now, so I'm just gonna try to click away from that. And anyway, but other than that, man, it's been good. You see, Solana's pumping, seeing some good price action going on over there. Oh, I'll just use the laptop here. This will work perfectly. I actually went out to the plug and got some flour. I've been smoking these vape things, man. These disposables, they're good, but they get to a point where they're just not hitting the same. You know, I don't know, that maybe it's me, but I was happy to get a bag of bud and roll up some doobies and enjoy them during the game. Got a bunch of meat and shit like that too. So it's been a good start to the week. But again, welcome back, guys. I'm SMS. This is Solana Chillin. This is Open Space. You guys come on up here. We're going to be talking about Solana, Bitcoin, what's happening across crypto and Web3. Having a lot of fun with the Seeker, honestly. Doing a lot of things, predominantly from the Seeker. And I just think it's a lot of fun because Solana they're doing a lot of things that back in 2021 was just an idea, what ifs, and a lot of them are just really like that's the deal. That's what we do now. But first and foremost, I got to give a shout out to the teams that I work with and represent: Marinade Finance, Zeus Network, and DD Gaming Labs. The builders of Scrolly Feed. You might have seen a little bit of the competition going on. We got daily rewards for people playing the game, and it's been growing. It was one of the featured apps on the Seeker D App Store. So if you got your Seeker, go check it out. You can actually download that, and that's just one of those monumental little, points or milestones rather. You're part of an idea that becomes a real thing. We put it together. We have a company. We got a team. We're teaching people, paying them for their work. Like, you got a business. You know what I mean? There's income generating. You're featured on a D App store of the coolest phone in the world. So couldn't be more excited for everything going on over there. A lot of some news that I cannot release. No NDA signed, just agreements with him. Like, hey, I'll let let me know when it's time to let everybody know what's next. But there's definitely a lot of what's next. Multi-chain is part of the situation now with Scrolly Feed. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here. And I think you guys will have fun with it as well. But this is powered by Solana Made Simple. That's a real thing now. I actually got resources to make this happen. Looking forward to working with other people, projects, and accounts. That's why I made Soul Made Simple as the main account, so I can, actually get together and really push this forward. A lot of people talking about doing stuff like this, man, but like I really don't think that they mean it. I think that they look for somebody else to fill their pockets to do this. I'm one of those people that I've always said, you pull up to my table, everybody's going to be able to eat in some way, shape, or form. We showed that with Solana Trivia. SMS trivia last week. A couple different people, they were able to take a couple more dollars back home with them. Some people gambled it away, but like I said, once I get to the point where I could start doing these small things, like I'll just start testing them out and seeing how it works out. But that was a huge success for me to make that happen and be able to use it. And like I said, this is all a gradual process, and we'll move things forward accordingly. But you will start to see that spaces, streams, and everything will be hosted from Soul Made Simple, the main account, and I would like to actually hire an intern for that account just to make sure we can run it correctly, because working with a little bit more professional companies, understanding different ways to, just perform a little bit more efficiently. I made a post about this the other day, or maybe it was today. I don't know. They're all pretty much the same. But there's certain things that like I jumped into. I haven't had that experience, and I'm learning it on the go, just like I did with construction work. And obviously, like, you don't have to have training for things. You have to just be willing to figure it out and with new tools that I'm getting, new things that are making life just so much easier, a little bit more productive, a little bit more organized, and it's stuff that I'm going to directly correlate and transfer over. I'm like literally in the process. I stayed up pretty late last night putting this together for Solana Made Simple, and that's the direction I think I want to go. I think it's real. I think the savings account thing that I'm doing might just become the treasury in the next year. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the space. Again, if you guys want to come up here, feel free. I got plenty of stuff to talk about, so don't feel pressured to come up. You're just hanging out, listening. I'll keep vibing and bringing the value with everything we got here. I wish I had some music or something like that, or like, you know what? I'll just hit the sound and take a sip of this drink. Cheers, anybody that got something cracked open. That one's for you. And since we are chilling, vibing, grabbing. All right, so ecosystem updates that we got. Marinade Finance is going live tomorrow with the Migrate campaign. With that, you get about a 4% boost on your APY. Did somebody come up to? Nope, just moved around on the stage. My bad. Just making sure. What is that? Just kidding. But no, the Migrate campaign goes live tomorrow. 4% APY boost on your Marinade for 3 months. If you take it out sooner, I think it like does a prorated amount or whatever, but you don't get the maximum reward that you could get for holding it the full duration. I mean, you're investing into builders. They're going to give you a little bit of a kickback. It's a big driver for TVL and holders, in my opinion. I do think that there's going to be some whales, so you probably will see some price action across the board. I'm excited for this week. You'll see a lot of posts from the Master Chef program, really getting these guys going, and going to be adding some people to the team as well. Like I said, it's a constant growth for me. I'm looking for a diversity of people, and I know that there are people that are constantly putting their work in. Don't think that I don't see it, but I do want to make sure that I spread this thing around, that it's not too concentrated into one area. I think you grow better by having more branches rather than keeping it a little bit more dialed in. But either way, I think there is benefits of it. But that's just the direction we're at right now. So I'll be excited to announce them later this week. The DAO burned 30% of Marinade token the other day. That's 300 million tokens permanently gone. That's a third of the entire collection, or supply rather. Gone forever. Just like that was a community decision, nothing to do with the team. They didn't get any benefit. They literally just had to perform the operation based off of what we voted upon. And that's pretty cool, guys. Like, it doesn't matter how much you had. If you took part of that, you got to vote and be like, yeah, let's burn. I think it was like $40 million. Let's just burn 40 million bucks and like just off of an idea. Let's just do that. And we did it. That shit's fun. Not a lot of people can say that, and not many people understand what that means, but that's a fun conversation. Be like, yo, let me tell you the story about how me and my friends burned $40 million. They're like, wait, what? Why would you do that? It's like, because scarcity. Because of whatever reasons you have, supply cut, whatever. But it becomes a fun conversation. They start asking questions about what you're doing in Web3 and crypto. But yeah, that's something pretty cool to be part of. And just to touch on some of the aspects why ETF filings are getting a little bit more bullish, we might see some updates regarding this in September, late September, just from the rumblings I've heard and just being around where I'm around spaces, so on and so forth. But definitely October is more of a target date. Some things have been delayed, so that could be a sign maybe we get a delay. Either way, nobody knows how this is going to go. It is bullish, but you could see a little bit of a price drop off if things don't go the way that we want them to. That's to be expected. Even if they go the way you want them to, expect a price drop off. So, like, if the underlying asset Solana is going to take any kind of price, action up or down, you're probably going to see a complementary reaction to all of the other assets that are built on top of that. So that would be a more dramatic, more volatile situation. Just keep that in mind if you're looking at a position to exit or to dollar cost average in. That's one of those like signals that you look for, especially with ETF. That's pretty big news. It'll hit the ecosystem network wide. So just keep in mind that's going on pretty soon here, and that could be a good indicator with where the price is at. Next, we got Zeus Network. Some of the delegation, they opened it up. Basically, delegation is enabling more capacity for Bitcoin to move into Solana by locking up the Zeus tokens. There's a certain amount that they will delegate. I'm not doing the best at explaining it, but basically there's some stuff going on. If you go over there and delegate your Zeus tokens, contributing them, there's a certain amount. I think it's 5 million, if I'm not mistaken, and that unlocks more BTC or something like that. that just puts more liquidity over into Solana from Bitcoin and unlocks that. I'm gonna do more work on explaining that because that sounds like shit, to be completely honest with you. But check out what they got going on. One of the plays that I recently jumped back into with Zeus Network was taking some of my MSOL and actually putting that into the staking for BTC. So I'm just stacking some ZBTC. That's just Bitcoin on Solana, guys. It's pretty simple. You're seeing a lot of more attention coming over into Solana. You have more inflows in Solana and activity of Bitcoin on Solana than other chains, which is absolutely amazing. Just keep that in mind. And respectively towards ETFs and stuff like that, they start realizing that they can restake their Solana through Bitcoin or and earn Bitcoin on it, you know that they're going to do it. We have one company, I don't know if I put it in the updates up here, but they're earning roughly $105,000 a day for staking their Solana. So just keep that in mind about like how these companies are looking at treasuries, the digital asset treasuries, their savings accounts. I made a video on that the other day as well. I'm trying to keep you guys updated on what matters. Like I know there's a lot of cool shit going on the other lines, but like these are the things that are like the foundation of like why will realistically more people want to come over here because of the stuff I'm talking about. Like this is the boring stuff. This isn't flashy, but this is the stuff we need to know about so you can explain it to other people about like what's cooking. Like why Solana? Well, you can do anything you want to on here pretty much. Like let me know what you want to do and I'll find a direction to point you in. And that's just the fun thing we got going on. I think Bitcoin on Solana unlocking BTC Fi is huge. Zeus is killing it. The Zeus token as well took a little bit of a jump. So just keep your eyes on those guys. Like I try to be pretty straight up and honest about like where my bags are parked at. Clearly, I'm going to be supporting the things that I invest into. I invest into, Apple because I use iPhone stuff or Apple's product, like Nike. Invested in Nike if you wear Nike shoes. Like just keep the price of shoes is consistently going up, right? So just keep that in mind. Like they're not going to go away. And if they do, sell your stock, sell your shares, sell your coins, whatever you got to do, but do your thing. What else do we got going on here? Scrolly feed. I talked about it earlier. Fully playable on the Solana mobile phone. You can get the app through the D App Store. Really, really cool milestone for the team. A lot of other things cooking on the back end. We have our weekly updates. Sorry about the cough, the weed is hitting strong, Joe Rogan. But if you guys have any suggestions, if you have any questions about the game, you can get into the Discord and literally, if it's a good suggestion, idea, or if it's a bug that you find, just bring it up. And if we can exploit it, make it gameable, we do that for the week and then we fix it going forward for the next week. You probably will hear about that in some of the spaces and updates that we got going on. But Scrolly feed, guys, I'm telling you, it's just a small idea, but you got a lot of hungry, ambitious people that want to make some shit happen. And just seeing the homies starting to make their own content around it that I never thought would take interest into it, but seeing how fun it actually is, that's what is the next confirmation. Because like we already knew what we knew, we just knew what other people didn't know yet, and that's kind of what we'll leave it on. But I appreciate all the support so far, guys. It means a lot to see things moving and grooving, sliding and grabbing. And I forgot to repost this myself, so I couldn't say anything until I do this. But if you don't mind reposting the room, I know there's not a lot of us in here. It does help get some more eyes and ears in here, and maybe somebody hears something that changes the game for them just a little bit. But again, you guys want to come on up, feel free. I think it's the same people. I think it's like third time I said it to you guys, so I get the hint. I appreciate it though. But I've also been running a few personal challenges and experiments. I want to tie in these things into something bigger down the line. These aren't just for me. These are actually going to be onboarding tools. Prove that you could start with small or almost nothing and still make it work in Web3. So the first thing I started using daily on my Solana Seeker, and this would be, incentivizing why somebody should get the phone, the safety with the Seed Vault wallet, so on and so forth. But the Lulo USDC wallet tracker, it's been what I've been doing daily, adding at least $1 a day. I think I like put $5 or something in there to start with. But it's something I'm consistently adding like just $1 at the very minimum. One day I'll put in like $1,000 in there or something like that. But they have super good APY that compounds over time. Consistency matters, and that's one of the things I think I want to be, the voice of when it comes to Solana DeFi is showing, anybody, any background can get into the game and break out of the matrix and figure out how to start saving. And like maybe your journey takes 5, maybe it takes 6, maybe it takes 24. I don't know, but I'll teach you the things that I know that work. And this is what wealthy people do. This is what they do with to get their wealth. That's how they grow it. They constantly work hard and they spend their money wisely. They spend their time even more efficiently. And that's the difference. spend your money wisely, spend your time efficiently. That's the difference. Like if you understand that, you are miles ahead of the rest of the game here. But keep that. Go clip that one. But the other one is the 10% savings challenge. It's going to be from September of this year to September of next year, and that's what I'm thinking that will be the treasury for the Solana Made Simple brand account, everything, just to have something there to start with. And you guys get to see me do this in real time publicly. I mean, I got it going into my cold storage ledger, so like it's extremely safe in there. I'm the only person running the show over here, so like I'm the only. I don't need like a bunch of addresses or anybody's confirmation. If I'm gonna rug myself, it's gonna be my own hard-earned, saved money. But this is just a challenge where I was telling people do 10% of everything you make and convert that into crypto, whether it's stable coins or not. But I'm sharing updates on how I use those funds. Like I said, I just use Camino. And there's a tool called Multiply, and basically you use that, you can 10x the APY or the return that you're going to get with that by using leverage staking rather, and that's called Camino Multiply. A bunch of different options. I remember covering it back in February, I guess, when it first came out for Jupiter or JLP, one of the two. But I like the idea of it. Basically, like if you put $1,000 in there and you use the max multiplier, you would end up with like $300 Solana just from or in Solana or USDC, whichever the payout was, just for using the multiply because it's again it's leverage staking. It's just giving you more of your APY. But it's something to take a look at. It's something that I was trying to figure out. All right, I don't have anything coming in. I don't want to risk anything. I don't want to trade anything. What can I do with what I got right there? So I looked around at the cookbook on Marinate Finance. I saw that they had options for MSOL. I looked a little bit closer. I remembered, hey, there's Camino. I can use my staking, my liquid staking, MSOL. Again, leverage staking, take it over there. They've had zero liquidation since they've been running this thing when it comes to the leverage staking. So I'm pretty confident in where my money is parked at. I'm going to let it cook over there. I think with the market being where it's at, not in a bad spot, but I'm willing to hold it until it's profitable. So there is risk with everything. Do your own research, take a look into it. But again, they posted there was zero liquidations a few different times with the leverage staking. So use that as your assurance into taking a dive into that option. But that's something to do other than just taking stables and putting there. Part of it is just putting that into liquid staking, native staking, whatever you want to. Any kind of restaking that is available. I did the MSOL because 7% APY. And then the other play was taking that over to Bitcoin, big BTC Sol. So I'm getting a little bit of a payout on Bitcoin. Also invested into Marinade and Zeus tokens specifically, just because it makes sense. If I'm using the tools, the products, I believe in the team and everything I got going on, this would be a great place to park that money. This isn't, something to change or flip overnight. This is something to build wealth and build sustaining like investment in a product, in a belief, and a company. Bottom line. Um, I like what they're doing. Even if I didn't work with them, I would still be pretty bullish on them. Knowing what I see, know, and hear and contribute to, that's what gives me that confirmation. And I put my money where my mouth is. I'm not going to be one of these guys that come out here and talk about I'm going to do this and like use anybody else's account. This is my hard-earned money that I'm showing you. You can do it too. It's a lot easier to do this stuff when it's somebody else's dollar, but it doesn't teach anybody. It teaches you that if stuff works, I guess. Like it definitely teaches you a little bit, but it shows you a different character when it comes to that. And I think it's more relatable. And I think that starting from zero, showing that anybody can fucking do this, is a huge onboarding tactic tool and something that is relatable to many people. Where it's like, look, I'm in college, I've got a lot going on. It's like you don't know how much of a good opportunity that is. You have nothing to lose, and we have a great place to start from. You know, teaches people finance. Most people don't even know what that is. So that's one of them. The other one is Moonwalk Fitness with Bonk. So you can just basically walk around. I got to get off of here at 10, no later than 10, just so I can make sure I hit it in the right time frame. I got like 1,000 more steps to get through that today. I only use it on my Seeker, and I don't carry that around with me everywhere throughout the day, but I make sure that I carry it on specific walks to hit these targets and stuff like that. But basically, anybody that doesn't complete the challenge, they get removed and their money stays in there, and then they average that out and they pay it out to all the holders that or contestants rather that were successful in the endeavor and were able to complete walking around. So that's another one. So it's like, yo, if I went to a bunch of college kids and I said, yo, you can start your own one, It's a challenge where you can get your whole class together. You guys all put $5 in. Whoever does not, make it to class or whatever does the amount of steps, you guys do an average. Like, bam, there you go. And then like, there's another layer to that, talking to the classes about finance, accounting, crypto. Because I walked to the place the other day. It's right next to my barbershop, and I looked in there, and I knew that like there's people that are going to know what I'm talking about. So that's my goal, is to get involved with the universities, because plans change for me as far as what's going on in the future here. It's going to be a little bit more grounded. We'll just keep it at that. But I'm going to be trying to use the resources available before anything else, and really make this stuff work. I reached out to Cast. I'm going to see if I can get kind of a connection with them, and get their card, some of their blessings or whatever, and maybe even put together some deliverables for them. But I'd like to work with them. They have a card that's working option or functional right now. That would be a great tool. Avex has a card, and I saw some people doing some successful stuff over there. If not all of that, Coinbase is like what I would refer to, not by choice, but by what is available to use for crypto payments like today. I know that there's some other options, but you have to think about what retailers are going to accept these forms of payment. So I'm going to use what's there. I can try to get them to believe everything this is going to work. It's going to take somebody that is a real independent owner that's willing to take crypto payments. And there is another cool app. I think it's called All Around Me or something like that. That's on your Seeker as well. If you plug your address in and what you're looking for, it'll show you all the businesses that accept USDC or Solana. It's pretty fucking cool. So I'm going to be going around showing people that and be like, yo, just use this. You will have specific people that will want to come here. And like, I can help with that in Philly. I can help with the tattoos in Philly. I can help make sure that that starts. I can make sure that the pubs are set up to make this happen. And I don't need anybody's, like, it's off of what's there. The infrastructure is already built. The tech is there. It takes, hey, let me show you this works. Let me fucking, I don't know if I can get an event, that'll be the way to do it. But I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I'm actually gonna go buy a car in a month to make sure I can get this shit done. But anyway, my point was, walking around doing this stuff, it just made me starting to think about who can I talk to. Because I seem to talk to somebody every single day. I've been going out with this stuff, whether it's to a pub, to a coffee shop, if I'm just in passing, and going to and from the gym, the barber shop, the beer store. I'm talking to somebody about the stuff that we got going on, and I'm like, I got to take advantage of this opportunity. I feel like it's wasted time otherwise. So we'll see how it goes. But if you guys aren't taking advantage of these challenges and these opportunities, just to like basically follow through with what you said you're going to do, like, that's on you. But there is a little bit to earn. You add that up over time. That's where your dollars, come together for your Lulu. Like, you guys think that like, oh, that's stupid, you're just going to be putting a dollar. Well, if I win $20 from Moonwalk or any of these other little things that I'm doing, like, that covers like the next like what, 3 weeks or something like that. I don't even have to think about it. I just put it into USDC, drop, 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 and consistently make content. Now they're already paying attention to the page. They see that there's consistent effort on there. That carries over. Maybe I never work with them, but somebody will see that I'm using something that I'm an asset of, and shows that this works. And then for anybody that is outside in the day to day, it's like, look, if you don't have any trust in the volatility, simply just understand stable coins. And then I get into the stable coin conversation, talk about the Circle IPO, talk about BlackRock, the 10% purchase right off the gate, start to get the things that's relatable, start to show them that they can download this app, whether they have this phone or not, and they can start using this today, but getting this phone will potentially give them benefits, rewards, so on and so forth, soul-bound tokens, all of that kind of stuff. They'll say, what is that? I say, follow me at Solana Made Simple on X, and we'll get this thing popping, shouty. But in all seriousness, this is all relatable. These are all things that I believe that you could do. And all you got to do is just fucking get to it. So next one, we got Pump Fund and Creator Capital Markets, watching the space grow, but it's not just about the hype. Success takes audience retention and the right team and real engagement across platforms. And these guys are rocking it out, man. I think that they're doing the right thing, doing it the right way, taking the time, whatever. Am I going to get involved with it? Who knows? Time may tell. Maybe there's a reason to, maybe there's not. But I do want to get conversations with people that are not just trying to obviously extract, that are building on it. But I'm just watching from the sidelines, to be completely honest with you. My best case scenario, and where my conviction lies, is the actual token itself. That's why I invested into Pump. August 1st, it was like the first real time I posted my buy, because it was at the bottom. Everybody was flooding the shit out of it. I was like, oh, perfect. This means buy, buy, buy. Like, as soon as I saw everybody hating it, I was like, yup, Let me go look at this thing. Oh, you're funding $1 billion token on the floor? You're retarded as can be. Retarded. Literally. I remember telling somebody, I was like, you're retarded. Like, this is obvious. The word is pump. One. Everybody uses this daily. They brought in more revenue than every fucking D app combined. You're telling me that this isn't going to be a player? It's hitting more like social media metrics than anybody else. Like, bro, you're tripping. And then as soon as Jakey and those boys got behind it, it was a wrap. It's got that part of the culture and the ecosystem, under its death grab. I was even looking at fucking tickers last night. One that I actually thought was kind of cool. I was like, I'm gonna throw something in here. It's probably gonna go to zero, and I'm gonna sleep on it. But like, I think that they're gonna try to build this thing. I could be wrong. I could have got rugged last night, but that's the power the fucking thing has. That's why I invested way more into Pump when it was at like 2 cent or 002 or whatever it was. I've been posting about that one quite often. I said this is going to be the hated rally. This is going to be the bad guy that nobody wants, but it's clearly the winner. Like, it's the fucking W sending, bro. Anybody that says I'm wrong, it filled the gap to a T. You're going to see a small pullback, I'd say 20 to 30%, and then measure that gap from the deepest depth of that W, the lowest point that that coin went to wherever that line is straight across, and then put that on that little leg that goes down 20 to 30%. That's where you should expect that next top at to be for it to find a all-time high. And I mean, I've been showing this for the last 4 or 5 months to like consistently week after week. This shows and proof that this indicator, this setup, this signal, this pattern, it's how I trade every time. Nothing changes. I look at the same shit. If I don't see it, I don't trade. Simple as that. But when you do see it, it's like you just know. Like, I d- I don't think you guys are grasping what I'm saying. You just have to like look at this stuff enough, hear it, and you just kind of know like this setup, this looks good. I don't know the volume. I don't know the buys. I don't know if there's whales there. I don't fucking know if it's going to last next year. I know that momentum is telling me that this thing is going to make a move, and the sentiment is telling me people are extremely bullish on this. So it's probably going to take a little bit of a price cut. So I'm going to have an entry, or it's going to be something where people are bearish as hell. So I'm buying as much as I can during that time until they're like, well, you know what? Actually, it does have a good sustainable business model. And it's like, no fucking shit, dude. $1 billion token just came out of somebody's ass. No way. No fucking way. Not buying it. I'm buying the token though. But that's real talk. Pay attention to it. I think that this does pick up. I think that will hypothetically say this. It's going to completely transfer or transform live streaming creators and reward based creators that don't have gigs, deals, monetization, so on and so forth. It's the it's the way that like a independent self starter business or company can go to. If Scrolly launched the token before that we launched the game, you would have funds to do so much more. But we're building a different way, right? So you leave yourself out of a lot of controversy as well. But now that we are seeing the ICM, the internet capital markets, and the or creator capital markets becoming more of a relevancy, like the ICM part of it, like look at water, how they launched a token that is help sustain their business model, selling bottles of water with the CA address when they're having the most, you know, eco friendly bottles. Like that's their gimmick. That's what sells to anybody else, but it ties back into crypto, so on and so forth. So that's the way that a creator gets a little bit of a buck up, even if it's a few $1,000s in rewards. Like they got enough to get started. Maybe that's 3 months of their bills that they can dedicate to their craft. Do you feel me? So that's why it makes sense to me as a creator, because I know the struggle that I've been in and what I've had to do and what I've had to learn and what I've had to go through, the failures. It's all predicated on you and your success and the amount of people that are going to be interested in your coin. The fact that you don't have to sell your tokens, you can get the rewards. That's clutch. I would be doing buybacks personally. I would be hiring a team to work with me. I would be very, very methodical with this when and if that time comes. The streaming aspect is very, very appealing to me. I think I bring a different dynamic. I'm not going to have the same pool as some things, but it's going to bring a crowd that I believe that I will be able to provide the most value to. And that's my goal. And I think that that's where we grow. I think that it's something to think about, but I want to get in the conversations. I will have the resources to do more traveling and more events when it comes to that nature of creating, and that's something I kind of look at. So it's 100% something I look at. I believe in the token. I bought the token. It's the same thing. It's like maybe you don't truly believe in what's happening, but that's where we're at, guys. So real quick recap. I kind of talked about this. The SMS trivia definitely was a success. I want to mention that the first few runs have been fun. I'm looking forward to bringing them back, but I learned it takes proper preparation for that. Otherwise, poor preparation leads to poor performance. Obviously, the big challenge is timing. Giving people too much time to answer the question gives it too much ease for you guys to look up Grok and ChatGPT. It's fun, but obviously, it's just they were farming me. Like I don't think they gave a fuck about the space, what they were learning about, or two shits about Soulflare at the end of the day because they didn't know the most common basic questions. So it's like, damn, you're not even paying attention to the shit you guys post about because that's the content you guys share. The joke's on you. You weren't paying attention to the thing you guys rep. But that's taught me a lot about what's being retained as far as knowledge, especially with the people that are coming into these spaces because they are literally the ones putting on the timeline that are not able to retain it without using AI. So it tells me the value is low. First. Secondly, it tells me I have to shorten the amount of time I'm giving you to answer the questions. Third, it's like I cannot wait to do this again, but like I'm trying to be a little bit more decisive with the questions and not to knock anybody, but like that's cheap. You're getting harder in money and you're doing the cheapest thing you can get. If you haven't learned anything from me, I'm calling out the people that are taking the easy route. Easy does not give you the most valuable product. Hard work always will do that. And I mean, try. Like worst case scenario is you got $5, but now it's like I don't want to do it because I know people are going to cheat too much. So I have to find a better way. But that's what comes with taking a shot out and say, hey, these are trial runs. I want to see what happens. But that's the feedback I got from it. The big challenge, like I said, is the timing, and I'll figure it out. But we're not stopping the trivia. We're not stopping SMS trivia by any standard. Uh, definitely going to keep that rocking. I think keeping the culture alive and what I'm trying to build, it's only going to get better from here. And it's something that, again, I think applicable in IRL. Even letting them use like ChatGPT and Grok and stuff like that, giving them 15-second countdown will be fun. So we'll see how that goes. But when it comes to Sol, I think the price is like 240, 241, something like that, around 16% bump in the week. Solana DeFi TVL is over 12 billion at all-time highs. Bitcoin is steady. I think it's what is it? 11. It's over 110,000. I think it's like 111,000 or something like that. I don't know. But a lot of bullishness with that, a lot of price action. But I don't think that you're seeing much of a negative price action. I think you're getting a lot of reactions to just the market. I wouldn't even call it volatile. If you zoom out, it looks good. Like we look like we're in a good spot. I think we will tap into this one of the days this week with Jules. He's really good at TA. He has a lot of technical terms. I'll break it down so we can make it a little bit easier to understand. But either way, we're going to be taking a look at that and then talking a little bit more about the BTC Fi narratives regarding the growth in 2025. We're bringing that up. Like there was a report from Zeus. What was it last week? So we put this space together, I guess Thursday or something like that, right after our Tuesday space. And we're going to be breaking it down and actually diving into it and covering BTC. That's what we do over here. So tune into that 8 a.m. Monday or Tuesday morning. And what else do I got? That's pretty much everything I got to go through. All of the updates that I had, all the things that I saw ecosystem wide going on, everything related to me. Any questions you guys got, feel free. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I appreciate you guys. We had a good day. Nice way to start the week, getting those updates out there and keeping you guys up to date. Like I said, if there's anything I can help with you guys, any kind of content, questions, whatever, let me know. Let's cook. We're gonna have a good week. I got some stuff up my sleeve, and I think you guys are gonna like it. So, if that's that, thank you guys for coming through tonight. I appreciate it. I'll catch you on the timeline. Be safe. Make sure you follow somebody new today. What's up, Alex? You almost got ended on it.
Um, um, will I say GM or GN? Okay, anyone. Those one thing. I don't really have a question to ask. Like, I don't even have a question. Just want to like thank you for always putting it out. Teaching us some things that we haven't heard. All this like guiding us or being with us, showing up for us. It's like it's a good thing. Like it's a massive one. Thank you for just doing that. It's not that easy. Shout out to Jinsu. Yeah, he's been doing it too. Yeah, thank you for that. We appreciate a lot.
No problem, Alex. I appreciate you coming up, man. I didn't quite understand what you're saying. It sounded like you're saying thanks for coming up and putting something out in the timeline. What exactly were you saying? If you want to clarify it.
Okay. I'm saying like, you know, like making up time, showing up for us, not almost things like we or like for me. I don't really know everything in this space, like or not everything. You guys join some space you hosted.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. Keep going. I was just agreeing.
Um, okay. I'm saying yes, there's so many things I've learned, yeah, from legends like you or like Jinsu, like all these you um and don't have to call names because Maki, like I mean so many of them, like you know it's not like it's not that easy like to come and be like showing up for people like us, like let me call it like teaching us many things that we haven't heard. Like is a good one. Like I so much appreciate like listening to you all, learning, and always the main thing is to after learning we put it to work. Yes, we have to put it to work. Stay
Yeah.
consistent. That's the key. Like 'cause
Well, to be honest with you, the I guess what you're kind of getting to is the things I say are things that have helped me, and I try to make it a little bit more clear for people along the way. I don't always agree to everything, and I'm not always right, and I'm willing to be wrong, and that's I think what keeps me able to consistently learn every day is I put myself in that element, and I try to rehearse the things that I love the most and I like about the space, so I get very, very, very proficient in them to the point that it's like secondhand nature to me. And I think that that has been one of my biggest abilities. Like I've taken every struggle and I double down on that and I say, okay, how do I get better at it? What can I get? What can I do? Who's doing good at this? Like what is there like what's the process? I'm just so I don't know, man. I'm a crazy person when it comes down to it, dude. Like I love what I do and when I get into it, it's like this is the first few months of like Web3 and crypto for me that's been like solid 100%, like just dialed in and focused where I didn't have to think, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do here? Like, how am I going to get this? Do I need to get a car? Like, I've just decided, like, this is what I do and everything else will work around it. So I've been able to really really, really apply myself in a way, and it's like I have fun. I tell people every day that we talk about this, not every single day, but anytime it comes up, I say I don't have a job anymore. I got a life, and I'm able to do the things that I truly want to do, and I feel like I just inspire people just because like I'm excited every day for what's next with Marinate Finance. What am I gonna be learning about Zeus Network? Like what's next for Bitcoin? Those kind of things. Like, oh, you're bored? Come check out this game. This one's fun. Your kids, you need them to focus here. There's some kid games too. Like, there's ways that it's like, how do you make it sound so simple? It's like, well, it is. It really is. Like, you don't have to complicate these things. You don't have to, focus on a certain anything. You can just get involved. That there's ways to do that. And one of the biggest things is talking to people and taking the feedback from IRL. And it's like, all right, what is like, and this is something I learned from just having conversations is, all right, if I meet somebody, I give them my contacts, they're probably going to forget 90% of what we talked about outside of crypto and the word maybe SMS or Solana or something of that nature. So what I'm trying to do is find ways that they come to my pages, or specifically I think YouTube is going to be the most common for most people. I think YouTube is, if they go there and there's a page that says, hey, what's up, you probably met me on the street or you heard me in a space or saw a video of me, but most people are here for the same reason. They, regardless of their experience level, is keeping Solana simple. And we're going to talk about yada 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 yada. Like I think that that's kind of like the direction I need to start going in, and that's why you saw the main account be made. You see kind of like the direction I'm headed in. Where unfortunately, the Solana game space that I was hosting, that was a lot of fun, but they decided they want to host their own on Wednesday, so that kind of removed the element that I was trying to bring to the table. And it's again, it's like an L for me. Like I thought that I was providing enough value. They personal or not, I get it. But it was like they want to host their own thing. So I was like, fuck, I gotta do better. I gotta do more. I gotta like represent myself a little bit better. And like I took that as a challenge. And not to be crazy, but that's just who I am. Like when Canary Capital said that they didn't want to meet me and have an interview or a phone call just to learn a little bit more and ask about the ETS on say, I was pissed, and it was because my account wasn't big enough. They didn't take me seriously as a creator. So I was hell bent on growing my account. And if you look at the day, it was roughly February ish, March, something like that. But if you look at that day and the trajectory that my accounts and the shorts and I've knocked that out of the park. I still have a shitload of work to do, but that's just the next level. That's just kind of like honing in the skills. I spent all night taking a look at the suggestions and the insights and the analytics from the YouTube account and what works, what doesn't work. Created CSV files for the last 90 days.